Morning, everyone. Morning. So we are doing this incomplete records chapter. You all remember it was long back that we discussed about incomplete records, final accounts, and all that. Anyone who remembers something from incomplete records? Yes, no one. Anyone? Can unmute yourself. Quickly, we will discuss what we have learned in incomplete records and do few problems there.
Yeah, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
In this, we will learn how to derive the capitals, at different points of time, like through the statement of affairs, and
Mm.
also we are going to learn the technique of determining the profit by comparing capital at two different points of time, and prepare trading and profit and loss account at the balance sheet from incomplete records. These are the things what we are going to learn in
So,
this.
what does incomplete record mean? In your perspective, what does it mean?
So normally, the transactions, whatever they have entered, all the transactions are not recorded in order.
Mm.
For a layman, you may enter all cash receipts or cash payment. It will not be ordered, for what purpose the cash is given, to whom given, like all debtors, creditors is not able to, look at in one view actually. Totally is incomplete. That has to be, discriminate these transactions based on the debtors or creditors or suppliers by point of view or receipt
Mm.
point of view. Totally, it will be incomplete. So this needs to be, organized in a perfect manner.
Okay, okay.
And the objective is to know to the profit what exactly they want. The main objective is, they wanted to know what is the profit earned and at the same time what is the financial positions of them. So these are the two factors where in incomplete record they're not able to see these two aspects, which
If
is learned.
suppose you lost some records, I mean, some data is lost due to fire or some accident, even that is considered under this incomplete records, right? What do
Yes.
we do in that case? How can we complete our balance sheet or other details using the information? Any idea?
So
Basic.
to complete the balance sheet, they should know the other
Mm.
financial aspects of related to the assets and liabilities. When they know
Mm.
exactly what is they have assets, what is exactly they have liabilities, what is outstanding liability, what is in advance payment,
Mm.
debtors position, cash positions. To know all this, they have to open this. They have to prepare this balance sheet. For that, all this details are very much required. Where in this system, quite difficult to get all the information related
Mm.
to the balance sheet elements, whatever those elements are.
I think we did a problem also on this. Suppose we need credit purchases, then where can we pick it from? We can pick it from the creditor's account, or you need credit sales. You can pick it from your, creditor's account, debtor's account, and then if it is cash purchase or cash sales, you can pick it from your cash account, bank account. So different balances can be picked from different places to complete your trading
Right.
account or payment account or anyway balance sheet as well. So, one more question. What is the difference between a statement of affairs and the balance sheet? I think this also we discussed, no?
Yes, ma'am. Balance sheet, it clearly tells what is the financial positions of the firm.
Mm.
Whereas in statement of affairs, it's only statement what are the
Mm.
elements are there actually. Like what
Mm.
is all elements will be put not in an order way. Whereas
Mm.
in balance sheet, we can find it in order way. In a
Mm.
chronological order, we're able to see all the financial aspects. Whereas in statement of affairs, you're not able to find all these details. It only it
Yes.
is. Field.
Basically, you can't say that it is a complete information also.
Additional,
It will
yes,
be having a missing information as well, right?
yes,
So when there is some information missing and you randomly pull the numbers from different places and put it in a statement, then that would be called as a statement of affairs. And mostly the balancing figure would be what? Capital,
yes,
correct?
yes,
You will not have all the balances given in your statement of affairs like balance sheet. In balance sheet, you don't have to find any balancing figure. You just have to see if both assets. I hope everybody is there. It's not just for her. Even though she's answering, I want everybody to just revise what we discussed in incomplete records, right? So in statement of affairs, it will be mostly the balancing figure. Balancing figure would be nothing but the capital.
yes,
And if you look at the balance sheet, statement of affairs, the balancing figure would be the opening capital. And if it is a balance sheet, there won't be any balancing figure. It will be like the balances are given to you. You just have to see whether it is matching or not. That is different case. But in statement of affairs, the balancing figure, because you picked the numbers from different sources. Maybe you picked debtors from debtors account, creditors from creditors account, cash from cash account. So you picked it from different places to see what is the opening capital. It will be the balancing figure. That's the main difference between statement of affairs and the balance sheet. I think this was one main thing that we discussed. And what is the single entry system? Anyone? Single entry system.
so we'll able to find out one effect of transaction.
Mm-hmm. So
We're
are
able
we
to
not doing double?
double entry system. It's not based on the double entry system.
Mm,
What is single entry is where we're able to
mm-hmm.
look into that.
I think there are different types of single entry system. You remember that? What are the different types of single entry system? This also we discussed.
Single entry system and
I told you about quasi, simple, pure. It's like if you maintain only personal accounts, or if you maintain only, personal and cash book, then you maintain subsidiary books also.
yes,
Depending upon what kind of books you are maintaining, it is called that type of single entry system. So if you're maintaining only personal accounts, then it is called pure single entry system. And if you're maintaining personal accounts and cash book also, then it is simple entry. And quasi means you also maintain subsidiary books. What are subsidiary books?
subsidies books are those like purchase, sales,
Purchases,
purchase
sales,
return, sales
return,
return.
sales. All if you are maintaining all these books also, then it would be called as quasi single entry, right?
Yes.
I think we have covered that. What else did we cover? And we saw the difference between statement of affairs and the balance sheet. And we did a problem also. Now, before I move to the next problem, at that time when we were doing this chapter, bills of exchange chapter was not done for you. But I think now the bills of exchange chapter is done. You all have an idea of what is a bill of exchange, what is bills payable, what is bills receivable.
Yes.
Okay, Visual is raising his hand. Visual, Visual, are you there? Or anyone else? Yes, Sarla.
But this bills of exchange and the promissory note, that you're talking about this, right? Normally,
Mm-hmm.
the goods are sold on credit. When the goods
Mm-hmm.
are sold on credit,
Mm-hmm.
purchaser should give a written promise, to pay on a certain date. It's expected that the buyer pays his debt.
So it's like a promissory note, correct? It is
Yes,
between two parties promising that I am going to pay this amount to you at a future date. Agreed?
yes. It's a written
So bill of
promise
exchange
accepted.
at a future date. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's bill of exchange wherein two parties agree to each other about the payment that should be done at a future date. That is done. Okay. Then what is bills receivable and what is bills payable? Because we are going to do a problem on this, I want to make this clear first, then move to the problem. So what is a bills payable and what is bills receivable?
A bill
Why
contains
others are
all.
not there? Only Sarla is speaking. Others, what happened? Nobody is there.
What about bill?
Gagan, you have to participate, otherwise you will be lost. Varsha, are you there? Visual, are you talking? I don't know. Everybody is missing today. The class. Okay, Sarla, the question comes back to you only again. Can you hear me, Sarla?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm asking what is the difference between a bills payable and a bills receivable?
See, normally bills receivable, like this is debtor actually, it's an asset. Bills
Mm.
payable is a credit, ma'am, creditor.
Mm. So bills receivable is an asset account or a liability account?
Bills receivable is a BR is an asset actually,
Okay.
whereas bills payable is a
Payable is a liability account. It's
liability.
almost like your creditor. You have to pay. It's a
Yes,
liability to you. So bills receivable is always an asset account because you have to receive it. You have entered into a bill of exchange, but it is receivable to you. The other party has to pay you. So it's a receivable account to you and it is a asset. And when you come down to the bills payable, you have to pay it to someone. So it is a liability account to you. Same, it goes almost like your debtors and creditors account only, debit and credit. So what is bills discounted? What is bills discounted? Bills honored. You heard these words when you're discussing that chapter. If you did not attend that class bills of exchange, I think you have to listen to that class first. Whoever have missed that chapter, bill of exchange, that is very important. Bill of exchange chapter, because incomplete records is like mix. They will test you from different perspectives also. It's not like they will randomly give you. It can be tested from different perspectives. So bill of exchange is also put into this question, that some information is missing to you regarding the bills of exchange and all that, and you have to still prepare the final accounts, right? So anyone who have missed that chapter or class, I want you all to revisit that class again. I think that class was after the incomplete records chapter only, if I remember. As per the schedule, it is after incomplete records, so please go back and check that chapter once, so that you'll have. And now I'll just tell you, give a brief about it, but in more detail, because bill of exchange chapter is very important. So I want you all to go back and revisit that class again, right? So bills payable is clear, bills receivable is clear. Now, what is a bill? What is a bill discounted? What is bill discounted? Hmm. Akash, you want to answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, bill discount is the amount is less than the amount is not on the bill receivable. It is a
Getting
loss.
it. It's a loss. Why do you think it's a
Ma'am,
loss?
yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, क्योंकि it is not a full amount that is written on bill receivable. It is a less amount, which is a
Why? I mean, you're
discounted
telling me
by
how it
bigger.
works. You're telling me how it works. But what is the actual concept of bills discounted?
I'm discounted from bank.
Okay, agree. Discounted from bank, which means what is actually done? What is the transaction that is done there? It
Ma'am,
is done. Hmm. Yes.
receivable is converted into cash at some discounted rate.
Okay, agreed. So what she's trying to tell you is you have a
मैम
bill.
ऐसे मैम
Hmm.
बैंक
Hmm.
अकाउंट डेबिट डिस्काउंट अकाउंट डेबिट टू बिल रिसीवेबल अकाउंट
Okay.
दैट्स
So okay. I'm like, okay with the journal entry. I'm just trying to understand what is the transaction that is happening here. So I have entered a bill of exchange with someone. Now I have a bill receivable. What is bills discounted now? Now that bill, whatever I have, bill receivable, I will not receive that amount maybe until 3
Yes,
months,
ma'am. Yes,
right?
I remember that. कि bank take a charges of to bank take a some charges. That's a discounted price. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Bank take a charges. Yes, I
Yes.
remember that.
That is bills discounted, right? Now I need
Yes,
a
ma'am.
money urgently. Then what will I do? I will go to the bank, request for this bills discounted, and then the bill is taken by the bank and the amount is credited, right? I get the amount, but they will not do it for free. No, nobody will do it for free. So they are going to charge something. It's like bill. The discount amount is deducted. Only the remaining amount is paid to me. That is bills discounted. And what is bills honored?
Ma'am, Troy
Hmm.
honored the bill. मतलब he paid the payment.
Okay.
He
Dishonored,
paid the
matlab?
ma'am, he don't made the payment.
Okay, okay. So you have a clarity on all these words, right? Bills discounted, bills honored, dishonored, or bill of exchange. All these words, if you are having clarity, then we can move to the problem. That's why I wanted to make it just clear about these. I think we can move to the
Yes,
problem.
ma'am.
In the last class, we did a problem. Do you all remember that?
Yes, ma'am. That balancing figure in capital account.
Mm. My screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. So I think this question we have done illustration 8, wherein in this question also we have done the calculation of the statement of affairs, the opening balance calculation. Then we used capital account, debtors, purchases, everything. So we tried to see what is a balancing figure and then put that value in our trading account, P&L account, and balance sheet and finish our final accounts. That was what we have done there. Ninth question I will do later because that is a little easier only. We'll do the 10th one because that has all the bills of exchange and all that. So yeah, let's read this question. Illustration 10. So look at this question once. Mr. Anup runs a wholesale business wherein all purchases and sales are made on credit. When this point is clearly mentioned, you will not have any cash sales or cash purchases. This is one important point, right? And then he furnishes the following closing balances. The closing balances are given to you on two different dates. One is the opening and the other one is the closing. Opening date means 31st March 2021, closing is 31st March 2022. So you have both opening and closing balances of debtors, receivables, payables, creditors, inventory, bank, and cash. Generally, the balance sheet items are given. Now, there are few transactions given below. Summary of cash transactions during the year 21-22. They have deposited to bank after payment of shop expenses 600 per month, salary of 9,200 per month, and a personal expense of 1,400 per month. So how much did they deposit in bank? 762, 750 was deposited in bank after paying all these amounts, right? So these amounts have to be paid first, then amount have to be deposited. You remember contra entry? What is a contra entry?
मैम जो
Yes.
कैश बुक में बैलेंस हो जाती है.
Sorry?
जैसे cash deposited in the bank.
Yeah. It's nothing but cash balance is going into bank or bank balance is coming into cash format, whatever it is. It is contra is nothing but when you have two different accounts, bank cash account, cash is cash in hand, bank is something account maintained in the bank, right? So from here to there or there to here, that transaction is called a contra entry, correct? Now, such entries also have to be recorded here, right? Now, this is one contra entry wherein you are depositing cash into bank. That is one thing. And also some payments are done, salary payments, shop expenses, and personal expenses. Personal expenses means what? What are personal expenses?
Some drawings.
Drawing, correct? It is nothing but the expenses made by the proprietor, the owner of the business, who he must have made his personal expenses, but these are also recorded in the books of accounts of the company itself or the business itself. Why? Because when it is a sole proprietor, what happens, you will not have any difference between the person, the owner, or the business. So mostly his personal expenditures are also made through this account only. Later we show it under drawings in our capital account. That differentiation we will show, right? So now we have drawings, some shop expenses, salaries are there, and also there's a contra entry wherein it is deposited to bank. Okay, done. Then what else we have? We have some cash withdrawn from bank. Then payment to suppliers is there, and also 25,000 for furniture. So this is for the creditors, we can say, and this is for a purchase of furniture. Then checks collected from customers but dishonored, which means what? Anyone? Checks collected from customers but dishonored, which means what?
Those checks are collected from the customers, for the debtors. Whatever they made the supplied for that, they have collected the check. That's been deposited in the bank. Due to insufficient fund, it is declared as a dishonor.
Okay, which means cash is received. I mean, cash or bank is received from the customer, correct? When check is received from them, you write it as a payment that is done. But once it is dishonored, you will have to reverse it. Agreed, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here two types of
This debtors account data to bank account. When it is dishonored,
when check is received, you write that. But when check is dishonored, you will have to reverse the entry because
right.
payment is still pending, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the next one? Bills discounted. This we just discussed. Bills discounted, which means we have given it to the bank, and bank have removed a discount of 750 and might have paid only the net amount after deducting 750. Then you have bills matured and duly collected, which is 16,000, which means there are few bills which will be honored on time, right? So you received an amount of 16,000 for that bills. Then you pay to suppliers by check. Then you receive 20,000 on maturity of one LIC policy of the proprietor by check. Now, this amount of 20,000 received as a maturity of LIC policy is like an additional capital that is brought in. Agreed, everyone?
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
is this an additional capital? Because
It's a proprietor's personal amount.
yes, right. LIC policy is always for that particular individual person. When that is maturing, it is for the individual person. When you still bring it to the business, it means you have brought in some additional capital. So this has to be recorded in your capital account as well. That is one thing. Then rent received 14,000 by check for the premises owned by the proprietor. This is also almost like a additional capital that is brought in, right? He has received some rent. Why should he bring it here? So if it is brought in here and used in the business, means it is an additional capital that is introduced, right? It may not be the intention of the owner, but still when his personal expenses are recorded or shown separately as drawings, his personal income when it is brought in also have to be shown as an additional capital. So we are going to show that as well. 14,000 as an additional capital that is brought in. Done. So these two are additional capitals that we have, and we also have drawings also. And I think with that we can do the capital account, but we need opening capitals, right? And then the next point is about a building was purchased on 30/11 for opening a branch for 3,50,000, which means a building was purchased for 350, and the amount was paid in check, which means bank, and some expenses were incurred on this building, details which are not maintained, which means whatever expenses you have incurred on this building, we don't have the record of it. So can we calculate in other way? We will try to see when we are doing the account, if we have the balancing figure left out, only that balancing figure left out, then we can take that. So we will see that when we are doing the problem. And then we have electricity and telephone. Paid by cash 18,700 and due 2,200, which means 2,200 will become outstanding. 18,700 will become the payment that is done. Both together have to be shown in your P&L statement as an expenditure, because in P&L statement it has to be both outstanding and cash, that whatever is the year expenditure that have to be recorded in the statement, right? So these are the cash transactions that happen in that year that they have shown. We also have few other transactions given below. Now, claim against the firm for damage 155 is under legal dispute. Legal expenses of 17,000. The firm anticipates defeat in the suit, which means what? You have a claim. You have to pay a damage of 1,55,000. Now, what is the anticipation of the firm? They're expecting that they will defeat, which means it is high chance that they will have to pay that 1,55,000. So what should we do with this transaction? Anyone? What should we do with this transaction?
That we need to consider as an expenses. We have to debit it P&L account.
We need to show provision. Correct? The correct word is provision. You can't show it under expense. You will create a provision for it. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You must have had this provisions chapter wherein we discussed about what is a provision, what is a contingent liability. I don't know if you have covered that. But when it is clearly mentioned that you are going to have a defeat, which means you're going to lose the case, then you will have to for sure create a provision because of the prudence concept. Because when you are sure that you're going to lose the case and you have to pay the fine or damage, whatever you have to pay, then obviously create a provision for it. So 1,55,000 provision have to be created in that year. And what will happen to the legal expense of 17,000? Legal expense, what will happen? It is just an expense, no?
Yes.
Though you win the case or you lose the case, you still have to pay the legal expense to the lawyer. You can't skip that. You can't say that I lost, so I will not pay the legal expense. That will not be possible, right? So though you are winning or losing the case, let it be any chance, you still have to pay the legal expense. So this legal expense have to be taken to your P&L statement as an expenditure. Mute yourself, no, Sarla?
Yes.
Next, we have goods returned to suppliers, which are nothing but your purchase returns. Then you have sales returns also. Then you have discount offered by supplier. This will become an income to you. Discount offered to the customer will become an expense to you. And then you have the business is carried on at the rented premises for an annual rent of 20,000. It's outstanding. This is an outstanding rent that you have to pay. This will come in your P&L statement and as well as your balance sheet also as an outstanding rent. Both the adjustments have to be done. Then you have bills accepted by the customers, bills endorsed, and bills accepted. What are bills endorsed? What are bills endorsed? Yes, Sunidhi, you were raising your hand. What are bills endorsed?
Means, ma'am, bill receivable is given to a creditor.
Yes, it's nothing but you just endorse it to someone else. Like it's like an exchange that is done, right? So that this is given to a creditor. So this one thing you will have to record it in your creditor's account. And bills accepted, this also have to be recorded in your bills payable and bills receivable account. And what is finally asked? You are asked to prepare the trading P&L and the balance sheet also as on that date. I think cash transactions are separately given and other transactions are, all these transactions, whatever we have seen, did not affect any cash. But here, whatever transactions we have seen are affecting cash, either inflow or outflow, in any case. So they have separated the cash transactions and other transactions and given to you. And some opening and closing balances are also given to you. What we will have to do is to prepare the trading P&L and all other accounts, right? Okay. I'll start with working notes, because without working notes, we can't do this problem, because information is not given to us straightforward. Information is scattered and given to us. So I'm starting with the working notes, right? Now I'm doing the statement of affairs. This will be as on which date? This will be as on which date? Statement of affairs I'm doing as on 31st March 2021, which is nothing but your opening date. Okay. Why am I doing this statement of affairs as on opening date? Should we do this? Can I finish my problem without doing this?
To know the capital.
To know the capital account, right? I mean, I need to know what is the opening capital. For that, I'm going to do this. Otherwise, not needed. But if opening capital is given to you, this is not needed. Since it is not given, we are going to do that, right? So what all will come under your statement of affairs? Nothing but the information, whatever we have here. Correct? We have debtors. Bills receivable. And we have sundry creditors also. Does it? Then we have inventory, cash, and bank. Then calculate the balancing figure.
Ma'am, 238200.
238200, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So this will be called as capital. Nothing but the balancing figure. Are you all doing it with me? I have just taken all the opening balances, whatever I have, the opening 31st March 2021 balances, whatever I have, and the balancing figure would be nothing but called as the capital account, the opening capital, we can say, which we will use for calculating the balance sheet. I'll keep this aside because we will use that later. Now I will do this summary of the cash and bank account. We have so many transactions given here, right? Let us do one by one. I have opening and closing balance of both cash and bank. So let me take that. Where will the opening balance come up? On the debit side or credit side? Opening balance of cash and bank will come on debit side or credit side?
From debit side.
Debit side for sure, right? So to balance brought down. What is the opening cash balance? 5,200. And closing cash balances?
5300.
I'll write it at the end, maybe later. Maybe we will have to see how many transactions we get. I'm just writing opening for now. Bank is 90. Okay. So we have opening balance of 5,290. We also have closing balance, but I'm not writing it because there will be other transactions to be returned. Okay. Yes. Now, what is the first transaction that we have here? Can you see the first transaction? Yes. So what we will have to do with this? They told a shop expense of 600 per month is paid, which means what will I have to do with this? Please, involve yourself. If you want, raise your hand. I will unmute you. Please involve yourself. Otherwise, you'll be lost.
Ma'am, they are shown in PNL.
So now I am showing you the first transaction here. They told deposited to bank after payment of shop expenses of 600 per month, right? Now, what will I have to do with this? What will be the transaction? That is what I'm asking.
मैम बाय सैलरी 600 into 12 क्योंकि पर मंथ है तो ये मल्टीप्लाई होगी हर मंथ
But
में.
what is happening here? You have an expenditure that is paid in cash, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, by what is the first one? Shop expense. By shop expense. How much is the amount?
7,200. 600 into 12.
Should I write it on the cash column or bank column? That's again a question.
Ma'am, cash column.
Why not bank column?
Ma'am, it is paid in cash.
Right. They told clearly that before even depositing into bank, they have paid all these, which means they paid it in cash. Then whatever balance is left, that they have deposited in bank, correct? Okay. We
Yes,
also
ma'am.
have salary.
Yes, ma'am.
By salary, how much is that? They told 9,200 per month. Into 12, how much it is?
110,400. 110,400.
Yes. What else we have? Salary of 9,200 is done. Then personal expense is there. Now this personal expense also they gave you per month. So how much it is? I'll
Yes,
write
ma'am.
drawings because it is
Okay.
coming under the personal expense. 1,400 per month.
16800. 16800.
16800. Okay. All three I've written in cash column. It is because after paying all these
Yes,
three only I have deposited into my bank account, right? Now how much did I deposit into bank account?
ma'am, 762,750.
They clearly told, correct? Here they have clearly mentioned that this amount is deposited into my bank account. So this will be a contra entry. So how much I should write? I mean, how much though it is given? 762. Where should I write? Which
Ma'am, debit side 2 cash. Debit side 2 cash.
Ma'am,
2
by
cash.
bank cash में.
Debit side
Ma'am,
2 cash or 2 bank?
ma'am, 2
Ma'am, 2
bank.
cash.
Ma'am,
2
2
cash,
bank.
ma'am.
Why? I think Sunidhi is saying some different answer. Why 2 banks, Sunidhi? No, you tell me your reason. It is fine. Let it be right or wrong. You tell me your reason. That's it.
No, ma'am, by bank.
Acha, you're saying by bank. Okay.
Ma'am, by bank cash में.
Two cash also will come, na?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a contra entry. Yes, agreed. Now,
Yes,
2
ma'am.
cash, I should write it in which column? Cash column or bank column?
Ma'am, cash column.
Bank column, no. From cash, it is going to bank account. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You were depositing in bank, which means bank a column mein you will have to write. What is the amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Bank
762
account debit 2 cash.
762 75.
7550. Yes, ma'am.
And here it will be in the cash column 762750. Why in the cash column? Because the balance in the cash has to come down and the balance in the bank account have to increase. So you will debit bank account and credit cash account to reduce the balance. Am I clear
Yes,
with
ma'am.
this contra entry?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are done with all these 3 transactions and also a contra entry. All 4 are done. Now let's move. Yes. Now the next one is cash withdrawn from bank. What will be the entry? Where should I write this?
Ma'am, 2 bank cash column 12100 and buy cash Credit side bank 12100.
To bank, I should write it in which column? Cash or bank?
Ma'am, cash.
Hmm. And then
Buy cash bank column.
correct. 121. This is nothing but amount is being withdrawn from bank. So bank account balance has to come down and cash account balance has to increase. So we have done that. Correct? Okay. Next
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
What is the next one we have? Cash payment to suppliers, right? So there
Yes,
is
ma'am.
a payment that is done. It has to be recorded on which side?
Ma'am, credit side.
Credit side. Okay. By the
By
credit.
Buy credit.
purchase.
Hmm. How much is the amount? 77,200. This is a
200.
cash payment. So I'm writing
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
cash column. Agreed?
Cash column. Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now, we also have 25,000 for furniture that is paid. Correct? Now,
Buy furniture.
25,000 in the cash column only because both are cash transactions. I'm writing both in the cash column only. So
Yes, ma'am.
this transaction is also done right. What is the next one? Checks collected from customer but dishonored. This we already discussed. Checks collected
Okay.
from customers means amount is received. When amount is received, where will you write?
Ma'am, two Sunday debtors.
Hmm.
Bank column.
So debtors, I will have to write how much it is
5700.
5,700. But later it was dishonored. Then I will reverse the entry by writing by debtors again.
Buy debtor. Buy debtors bank account.
Correct? Agreed, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It means almost this entry will be nullified. You still have receivables from that particular customer left because the bill is the check is dishonored.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarla, you can unmute yourself and then because I'm not able to check your chat. If you're typing it in the chat box, but I'm not able to check, so you can unmute yourself.
Bill accepted by customer.
Okay, this fourth one is done. Next one. Bills discounted 20,000. Discount is 750. So how much you must have received from this bill?
Ma'am, 19250. 750 minus हो
It
जाएगा.
should be written in which column? Bank column or cash column?
Bank column. Two bill
Bank.
receivable.
Okay. Two
To
bills receivable. How much is the amount? 19?
19250.
19250 because the discount is 750. Okay, done. Next one. So this bills discounted is also done. Now bills matured and duly collected 16,000. Where will this come?
मैम टू बिल रिसीवेबल हो जाएगा ये भी सेम 16000 बैंक कॉलम मैंने कि एक ही एंट्री कर देते तो कोई दिक्कत होना है मैम
There are two different transactions. No, we don't know whether these two have been done on the same day or not. We are not sure. So cash transactions, we are doing cash account, no? They will be done
Yes.
on different dates sometimes. So we can't combine them if they are on different dates and all. Okay.
Oh, yes ma'am.
What is the next one? So this is also done. Duly collected amount we have written. Then paid. Yeah.
Ma'am, sixth one was shown in bank or cash?
Which one?
Ma'am, sixth.
Six. What six? Sixth.
Ma'am,
Sixth transaction. I have shown it in the bank column only. Here, 16,000. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. मैम बट इसमें तो बताया नहीं गया कि इसमें बैंक में शो करना है या कैश
But mostly it will be done in bank transactions only. All the bills of exchange mostly will be done under the bank transactions unless it is specified that it is collected in cash. Mostly it is collected through bank because it is a agreement that is done. No, so mostly they pay it through check or through bank.
ओके मैम
If it is specified, then you take it to cash. Okay.
यस मैम
Now, what is the next one?
By creditor 3,20,000.
It is nothing but supply. You have paid to the supplier.
Yes ma'am.
So by creditors. How much is the amount? 3 lakh. This is check. So this has to go under which column?
Bank.
Bank column, right. You can't take it to cash because it is a check that is paid. Okay, so this is also done. Then we have received
Receipt.
20,000 on maturity. Now this has to go to debit or credit of cash account?
Debit.
Debit, because it is received only, no? So you will have to write, like I told you, it is an additional capital introduced. I told you about this before also. So this is like an additional capital that you have introduced. So let us take it to capital account. Okay.
और
Now
मैम
this is,
सेकंड इफेक्ट इसका बैलेंस शीट में जाएगा कैपिटल अकाउंट की
it will be added to the capital account in your balance sheet. Yes. And rent also same way. It is the owned premises of the proprietor, which means it is his personal property. That rent he is bringing here to use it in the business, which means this has to be taken to your drawing. So not drawings, additional capital only. And why did I write it in the bank column? It is because they clearly told that it is received in check. Can you see both of them?
yes
This maturity amount is received in check, and this also is received in check. So I have written both in the bank column. If it was in cash, then you write cash account. So both I'm taking to capital as an additional capital that is introduced. This is done. Now what else is there? A building was purchased on 30/11. Okay, this building cost is how much? 350. But there are
yes
few other expenses also, and we don't know what are those expenses. Let me write buy building.
yes ma'am
So you will see if the balancing figure will be taken here. I'm not
yes
writing the amount, I'll leave it like that. And what is the other last transaction?
by
Electricity and
electricity by electricity and telephone
By electricity and telephone bill, 18,700.
yes.
in cash column
18,700. Correct? Anything else that we have? We have recorded all the transactions.
by balance carried down रह गया बस में
Yeah. You'll have two balancing figures here, one in the cash column and the other one in the
बैंक column
bank column. Yeah. So tell me the balancing figure in the cash column.
5300.
Cash column. Okay, let me. $5,300 is the cash, right?
yes ma'am
And bank is 87,000. Okay.
7000
Since we have opening balance, closing balance, and you have other transactions also, whatever balancing figure you have, we will take it to the building account. And also we will have to see the other one mostly. I think it will be debtors only. Tell me a balancing figure.
मैम by building में आ रही है 3,72,000
So you're telling me the balancing figure of the cash column or bank column?
bank column by building
Bank
bank
column balancing figure is how much?
3,72,000
Okay. This will be balancing figure. Okay. Now, which means what? They clearly told that, if you come down to the question, they told that 3,50,000 is incurred for building purchase and other expenses. So what are the other expenses? It might 3,50,000 plus 22, it might be other expenses. This came down to 372. We don't have the information, so balancing figure was calculated and then this calculation was brought in. It is not needed, but I'm just telling you. What is the balancing figure of the cash column?
ma'am 2 debtor
So you
8
have it
lakh
on the debit side or credit side?
ma'am debit side
Debit side, okay. How much?
8,97,150
One?
150
150. Okay. This is again a balancing figure. Two debtors. What might have been this transaction? What might have been this transaction? Now you have a We directly wrote debtors as the balancing figure, but what must have been this transaction? This transaction must have been your cash purchase, cash sales, we can say, right? Because this is coming to your cash account, in your cash account. So this is your cash that is received from your customers, because there is no receipt that is there from the customer. So we are treating this balancing figure as the cash that is received from the customer. Did we pay to the supplier? Have you seen any payment that is done to the supplier? Yes, there was one cash payment that is done, and then credit payment also that is done. But did you see any payment that is received from the customer? No. So that would be the balancing figure. You will treat this as your balancing figure. Are we clear with this account,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone? Hmm. Shall I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, you said like sent it data as like a balancing figure of 8,97,150. Said it could be like a cash sales.
Not cash sales, cash received from the customers.
Debt. Okay, okay.
Yeah, they told no cash sales. In the initial question itself, they clearly mentioned that all are credit, no? So there
Yes.
won't be any cash sales now.
It
That
must
is
be
why we are
received from debtors, right? Is it received from debtors? Yes,
it is
money
the
is received
payment
from
that
debtors.
is received from debtors. If suppose this sentence was not there, then there is a chance that this can be a cash sales also. There is
Oh,
a chance. It can be a cash sale or it can be a cash payment received from the customer. But now that they clearly told that there are no cash sales, it is only credit, you are assuming this entire 8,97,150 as your payment that is received from the customer. Clear?
okay.
Then shall I move on to the next account? So we almost finished the cash
Yes,
and
ma'am.
bank account transactions, everything, and we saw what is the balancing figure also. Now let us move. Hmm. So I'll do bills receivable and debtors account together, and then bills payable and creditors account together, because they will mostly go together if any contra entries are there. Now, yeah. Will this come under your this claim? This will not come under your bills payable or bills receivable or debtors. Nothing. It will not come anywhere. It will directly come in your P&L statement. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have goods. I think we can finish our trading account. Let us, yeah, let us finish trading. What will come under your trading account? Since you have most of the information, I think we can finish trading account. What will come
Yes,
under
ma'am.
your trading account?
Opening inventory, two opening
Yes.
inventory.
To purchase, buy sale.
Opening inventory is coming on the debit side,
Yes, ma'am.
and
One lakh
then
ten
close
thousand.
1,10,000. And closing inventory is coming on the credit side,
1,90,000.
90. Okay. Hmm. What else will come? On the credit side, you'll have sales also, minus sales returns.
Yes, ma'am. 5,000 minus.
And debit side, you'll have purchases
Purchases,
and purchase
purchase return.
returns. How much is sales and how much is purchases? Do we have this information anywhere?
Debtors
Do we
का
have the,
total,
sorry?
मैम क्रेडिटर्स का टोटल करके क्रेडिटर्स
Creditors?
मैम क्रेडिटर्स में
अच्छा,
जो अमाउंट
we didn't do debtors account. No? ठीक है. Okay, okay. Let us finish that then. Fine. Let us do this one first.
Debtor accounts को पहले close करना
Yeah, let us do that. We have opening and closing balance of our debtors account. Let us go back there.
पड़ेगा. Yes, ma'am. Two balance brought down 70,000. And
70,000. Okay.
buy balance carried down 92,000.
92. Oh. Hmm. We also
और
have
मैम
bills receivable opening balances.
two balance brought down 15,000
Hmm.
and buy balance carried down 6,000.
Then we have bills payable also. Bills payable ka opening balances by
Yes,
balance
ma'am.
brought down 12,000 and
12,000. Two balance
balance
carried down 14,000.
40. Then we have creditors account by
Buy balance carried down
brought down.
40,000, 40,000.
Hmm.
And
Then hmm.
two balance brought down 56,000.
Okay. So we have recorded all the opening and closing balances. Now let's come down. This doesn't have any impact on your bills payable, bills of exchange, or bills payable or bills receivable, debtors, creditors. No effect on this. Only in P&L statement. And then
Okay.
goods returned to suppliers. This is purchase returns and sales return. These two also will come under your trading account only.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll fill that. How much is sales returns here? 1,200. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And purchase returns is 4,200. I'm finishing this.
1,400.
Since we came down here, I'll finish it. You don't have to come back. And then discount offered by
But
suppliers.
we need
Discount.
to we need to write this return inward in sending data as 2,200.
Yeah, we will have to write it there also.
That there also you have to write.
Yeah, we'll write it there also.
It's credit to sundry data. Because for
Discount.
adjustment entries, it will find two places. It will find in two places.
Writing discount also here on both the sides. One is discount received and other one is discount allowed. How much is discount allowed? Allowed matlab?
We are giving to customer.
Suppliers, correct? Customers. How much is the amount discount allowed? That is an expense to you, so it will be 2,400. And what is discount received? You have received 67. Okay.
मैम इसमें ऐड भी तो हो जाएंगे 750 जो बिल डिस्काउंट के थे.
When we are coming to the transaction, we'll write it. For now, I'm going in order, no? Whatever, these two we have filled. These two I have filled. That's why I'm going in order. Let us not bring that again. You will confuse yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this goods, whatever returns that you have, this also will have another effect. Where do you think this will be having another effect? Like Sarla was mentioning, where should we show this?
Creditors,
And
ma'am. Second supplies creditors lecture.
Yes. So, in your debtors account, what will be the amount? Debtors, it will be returned
1,200.
from, returned by the customers amount have to be there, right? So,
Return
it should be
inward.
coming, yeah, it should be coming on the debit side or credit side.
Credit side of the sundry debtors account.
Okay. How much is the amount? 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah. And in creditors here,
Debit to creditors, return outward 4,200.
4,000?
200.
Okay. Done. So this you have to write it in your debtors and creditors account. We have written. We also have written in the trading account. So this is done. Discount also you have written in the P&L statement. This is also done. Now you have the business is carried on the rented premises. This is an outstanding rent. Where will this come? This is an outstanding rent. Where will this come?
One is liability side and the balance sheet. Another is debit to P&L account.
So
Need to add
outstanding rent in P&L account. How much is the amount? 20,000.
and under balance sheet outstanding liability.
Outstanding rent is 20,000. Okay. Now we have about 3 transactions about the bills. Bills accepted by the customers 40,000. Where will this come? Bills accepted by the customer.
Debit to bills receivable account.
This should come under your
Bills receivable account.
receivable account, right? Because it is an amount that is accepted by the customer, so it's like a bills receivable that you have, so it should be coming under your debit side or credit side.
Debit side of the bills receivable.
How much is the amount?
40,000.
40,000.
40.
This has other other leg also. One leg is here. Where is the other leg that is going to come?
Debtors account.
Debtor
like
account.
Debtors account, right? Very good.
that.
So by bills
Credit.
received.
By
Okay.
customer.
40,000. Everybody clear with this transaction? One leg is coming here, other leg will
Yes.
come there. Now, we have bills endorsed. Where will this come? Bills endorsed. Where will this come?
It's
Bill
credit to bills
receivable.
receivable account.
Bill receivable account correct side.
It's credited.
This is like, you are endorsing it. So you have to affect your creditors account by 10,000. Now creditors account also I will finish. Creditors will be 2. Bills receivable
Receivable.
10,000. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what about the bills endorsed is done. What about bills accepted 24,000? Where will this come?
It's debit to sundry creditors account.
What is the other effect?
Creditors
Credited to
account.
bills payable account.
2 transactions should be there. No, one should be in your creditors. The other one should be in your
Credit to bills payable account.
right. Okay. So bills payable account I will write
By
by
creditors.
creditors.
By bills accept sundry creditors.
This will be how much amount? How much is the amount?
24,000.
24,000. Okay. And what about the creditors? You will write 2
Bills payable account.
yeah
Bill payable.
24,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is done. I think only these 3 transactions are there. Something that I think we should pick it from here also. Few transactions. So let us pick from here. Do you think any of these transactions will come in bills payable, bills receivable, or debtors or creditors? Anything that is going to affect first transaction? No.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Second one.
No,
No.
ma'am.
Okay. What about the third one?
Cash payment to supplier. It is that 772.
So it should come in which account?
Creditor account.
Creditors.
Okay.
Credit.
On the debit
Credit
side or
account,
credit
debit
side?
Debit side of the
Debit
sundry
side.
creditors account.
Okay. So I will write 2.
2 cash.
It was cash or
flow.
bank?
2 cash flow.
Ma'am,
Cash only.
cash.
Okay. Okay.
Cash.
Cash 77,200. Okay, done. Furniture, should I write furniture? This should I write?
No, ma'am.
Under furniture
Because no
account.
creditor is affected here. The payment is done. So no creditor is affected here. So we are not going to record. Yeah. Now should we write this?
Yes, ma'am. Debit, credit, debit, 2 effects should be given.
Where should we write? Which account should we write?
Sundry
Is it
debtor.
Debtors.
debtors account? Yes. Where is our debtors account? Yeah. In the debtors accounts, where will we write this?
When the check received is credit to debtors account. When disordered is debit to sundry debtors.
Both. So both debit and credit should be there. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
5,700 and 5,700. Now on the
By
debit
bank
side,
figure.
on the debit side, it is called what?
By
Disordered.
bank check dishonored. Check dishonored.
Check disordered.
And on the credit side,
Check received.
Bank receipt. By
Check received.
we can say this is like the check that is received,
Received.
and this is like the dishonored one. Okay,
Yes,
you can write it in brackets so that you know which is which transaction. Okay, are we clear till here? I'm going in order because if we miss something again, you'll be lost. That's why I'm going in order. Though we have completed cash and bank account, again we are doing to see if it is affecting any of our bills payable, bills receivable, debtors and creditors account. Okay. The next transaction, bills discounted. This also should be coming up. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Where should it come?
Profit and loss account.
Okay, but here in our first of all, it should come in your bills receivable account. No.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
By discount account.
Firstly, you have received amount in bank. How much did you receive? I think some 19,250. Then this
19 to 50.
uh,
750.
750. Now you are saying no discount. It should come. That discount I will write here. Discount. This discount is which discount? Are bills.
It's discounted.
Bills
Yes.
discounted.
You can combine both of them, but still, since these are two different transactions, I'm writing them separately. Okay, done. This is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else we have? Bills matured. This is also there, no? Bills matured and duly collected. This also has to
Yes,
come.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
16,000. And this is done. Paid suppliers by check. Where will this come?
Creditors.
Creditors, correct. There is a creditors account here. It should come on debit side or credit side?
Debit side to bank account.
So this
Sending
is bank.
creditors to bank account.
Check. Right? How much is the amount?
Check.
3,20,000.
Okay, done. This is also done. This will not come in any of your accounts.
No.
This also will not come. Building also will not come. This also will not come
No.
in your creditors or all these accounts. Okay. Are we done? Did we write all the transactions? All these three are done. We have written everything. Check the balancing figures in all the accounts. What is the balancing figure in the bills receivable account?
मैम एक फिगर रह गई है समरी कैश की जो फिगर थी मैम टू डेप्टर्स 8,90,000
balance. Yeah. Okay.
बाय कैश
How much is the amount?
897,150
897,150.
और मैम डिस्काउंट अकाउंट भी रह गया 2400 बाय डिस्काउंट अकाउंट
We didn't write?
नो मैम
Okay.
Well, the two entries need to be right?
How much is the discount amount?
2,400.
So we didn't write discount in creditors account also then?
yes मैम 2700
What you were asking something else, Sarla?
Yeah, that is sundry debtors 2,400. But the debit side is around 3,000 bills receivable account, bills dishonored.
Sundry debtors account?
Debit to bills receivable account, bills dishonored, ma'am. It's around 3,000. That need to be entered.
Actually, you're telling me the balancing figure?
No. See, in sundry debtors, 3,000 sundry debtors, 3,200. One amount to be entered there, ma'am. To receivable account, bills dishonored.
What
That
is
needs to be entered.
3,200? Where is 3,200? Do we have any transaction? We don't have any transaction, no? I think did you calculate the balancing figure of this bills receivable? Whatever balancing figure comes here has to go to debtors account. We
Yes, ma'am.
see that.
The balancing figure need to
You tell
trust
me the balancing figure first.
of bills receivable. That we need to take there.
What is the balancing figure? Did you total
3,000.
3,000 on the debit side or
3,000
credit side?
Credit side, ma'am.
मैम
Okay.
credit side ये चली जाएगी डेबिट साइड में डेटर के.
Now, whatever balancing figure we have here, this will be like by debtors. Okay, this is
Yes, ma'am.
almost like the bills, that is accepted. That you can take it here. I think you're saying that only, Sarala.
Yes, ma'am. That is the
Okay. Now this will come here. That's why I finished bills receivable first, so that you can win the balancing figure here. This is 3,000. Now, what is the balancing figure of the debtors account? Check that.
मैम 959,750.
957.
959,750.
959.
Okay, 959.
959,750.
Okay.
750.
Okay. I can say this as
Credit
sales.
sales. Credit sales.
It will be credit only because they clearly told it is no cash, so credit sales. Yes. Now, balance your bills payable. I think bills payable is the simplest one. We didn't have much transactions. What is the balancing figure? The bills payable
22,000.
on the debit side.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
22,000. This will go to
Yes, ma'am.
balance your creditors account also. This will be by purchases, no? Credit purchases.
Yes, ma'am.
Calculate the credit purchases.
450.
454,100.
454,100.
100.
Did everyone get the same answer? Just check once if everybody is getting the same answer.
Ma'am, the balance should be like 40,000. I think it looks like 10,000.
This is 40 only. Yeah. This is 40.
54,40.
Right, tallies, ma'am. The total will be 4,94,100.
Is this right or wrong?
It's right, ma'am. It is right. 4,54,100.
Correct only, na?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now this 454,100 will come where? In your trading account. To finish this only, we did that account. 454,100. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And sales, we got it from debtors account. Now, how much is the balance in debtors?
959,750.
750.
95?
9,750.
97.
959,750.
Okay. Tell me the final figure also after purchase returns and sales returns.
Ma'am 449,900.
449.
900.
Okay. And here?
958,550. Sales net
58.
958,550.
550. Okay. We have opening inventory, closing inventory, purchases, sales, and then I think balancing figure should be your gross profit, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Calculate the gross profit.
5,88,650.
5,88,650, correct?
650. Yes, ma'am. Gross profit.
Okay, done. Now this has to come down to your P&L statement.
Profit and loss. Yes, ma'am.
Brought down gross
By
profit
the
is
profit.
5,88,650.
588,650. I don't think we have anything else on the credit side, but other transactions on the debit side have to come up, no? So
Yes.
I'll go back to the question.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to
Salary.
shop expense and salary, all those also will come. Shop expense. How much is the shop expense amount?
7200.
Okay. Salary?
1,10,400.
1
Ma'am,
1,10,000.
1,10,000.
110, ma'am.
110. Okay.
110,400.
110,400, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then drawings will not come here anyway, so I'm not taking that. Cash withdrawn will not come. Suppliers, discounts, checks, dishonored,
ये हो चुके हैं.
then receipt, building. I think this will come. Electricity and telephone. Electricity. 18,700 will be your amount. Plus, we also have to take the outstanding. So I'll take both of them together.
2,200.
How much?
2,200 plus 2,200.
20,900.
That will be 20,900.
20,900.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
then I think this claim we will have to take now.
Provision.
Legal expenses 17,000.
No, provision
Yes,
we have to create now first.
Yes.
I
Yes.
told you
yes,
for this 1,55,000 you have to create a provision. So
yes, ma'am.
provision for claim,
1,55,000.
right? And legal expenses anyway an normal expenditure. So legal expense, this will come though you are defeating or you are winning the case. 17,000. This is also done. Goods written, I think these two we have written in the trading account. These two are done. These two also we have written now in the P&L statement already. We
Yes,
have
ma'am.
written. Yes. And then this outstanding rent, I think this also we wrote, na? 20,000 outstanding rent we
Yes,
have
ma'am.
written.
Yes.
Done. I think we wrote all of them. I'm not wrong. Provision, outstanding rent. The 7,200 is what is that? 7,200.
Shop expenses.
I mean,
Shop.
soap expenses.
See what is the net profit?
257,700.
Is it right? Did everyone get the same answer?
Two three eight two zero zero.
We will take it from the working note that we have done. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
238.
200.
We have to add additional capital to this. I think we have two kinds of additional capital. What are those?
Yes. 20,000 and 14,000.
One was LIC, one was rent, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
LIC was how much?
For what? 20,000.
20. And rent is how much?
14,000.
Okay.
The
Then
net
you
profit. Add
net,
net profit.
correct. Net profit is coming from your P&L statement 257,700. Then
And
you
less
have to
drawings.
do
Less drawings.
how much is the drawings?
16,800. Debt
what
will
is
be
the
5,13,100.
1?
100.
100. Okay. I think along with outstanding rent, we also have outstanding electricity, no? How much is that? 2,200, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
2,000. I'll go back to the question. What else will come on the liability side? Debtors will not come, receivables will not come. Bills payable have to come, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Bills payable. Closing balance is how much? Bills payable.
14,000.
14,000.
14,000.
14,000.
Okay. Creditors also have to come. Creditors
56,000.
56, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
56,000.
Okay. Then you will have asset side May. We had building, you remember? We took on
Yes,
a
ma'am.
closing balance of building
3,72,000.
372. If any information relating to depreciation is given, you have to charge depreciation also. But no information is given, so we are not taking depreciation. Furniture also you purchased. Do you remember? We had it here. Furniture. This also
25.
have to be taken 25,000. No information on depreciation, so I'm ignoring that as well. Now, along with this, you'll have creditors, sorry, debtors.
92,000.
That's 92. Then you'll have closing inventory also.
1,90,000.
190.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you'll have cash closing balance and bank closing balance also.
Yeah. Cash is 87,000.
Okay, bank is
In hand,
Bank
5,000. In bank,
sorry,
with the bank
मैम
87,000.
कैश तो 5,300 है और बैंक में 87,000 है.
the bank is 87. Cash is
5,300.
5,300.
okay, 5,300. Okay.
और मैम बिल रिसीवेबल भी एक
Bills receivable, yeah. How much is that?
6,000. 6,000.
So where is this question? Debtors हो गया, receivables, payables, creditors, inventory, bank, cash. We have written all of them. Then this is done. This is done. Did we miss anything? This discount, bills matured. These two are drawings we have written. Building we have written on the asset side. This outstanding 2,200 also we wrote, no? Yeah. And then provision
This
also
is
we have.
provision for claims for damages. It has to write under liability side. But that
और लीगल एक्सपेंस भी मैम.
Legal expense will not come again in the balance sheet, no? It's just an expense.
but since it's an outside statement now, ma'am,
They
it
told.
will have two places. They consider as an outstanding expenses. One is under liability side outstanding expenses, and one is under profit and loss.
Then you have to write
Yes,
outstanding
we also have to write.
legal expense.
Yes, ma'am.
70,000. Then goods return discount is done. This outstanding 20,000 also we have written, na? Yeah, we wrote 20,000. Accepted and endorsed. Done. Did we miss anything else?
Yes, ma'am. No,
You
ma'am.
have to go back to the question again because we'll miss one or two. So if you go back and see whether we have written all of them, then only it will be correct. See if it is matching.
Seven, 300.
777, huh?
Yes, ma'am. 777, 300.
777, 300. Oh. It's matching. Please mute yourself. Did everyone finish? It's like a very long question. The only difference between this question and the previous question that we have done is all of them we have done it in the same way by doing the statement of affairs and then doing all sales account, everything. But the main difference here is about the bills receivable and payable. This question had, all the bills receivable and bills payable things included, and also this cash and bank account. This was one thing wherein a lot of transactions were paid in cash, few are not paid in cash, few are paid in bank, few are outstanding. So when we consider all of them, cash and bank account together and then do it, that's one difference in this question. That's why I did this question, so that you will have an idea. When a lot of information is given to you, how do you have to do this?
Ma'am, how much time allotted in exam? This type of questions.
This question generally comes for, some 8 marks or so. Then you will have to do it within half an hour, mostly below that only. You If you practice, you can do. Now that I am talking about it, explaining you the transaction and then doing it, it took so much time. But if you practice, you know where to write which transaction, then it will become easier. If you practice only, it will become easier. Otherwise, on the exam day, you directly go to the exam and do this question, it will take you 2 hours also sometimes. That cannot be done. Okay. You want to take a quick break? 5-minute break. Come back fast. We'll discuss few other things in this chapter and close it. Okay. Our technical team will pause for 5 minutes.
ಅನಿಲ್, ಇದು ಮಗ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಾವು ಈ US ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ಕಾರ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವ ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಈಗ ಅವನು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟಾಗಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ. ಈ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಮಂತ್
Shall we start? Okay. What is rent prices, matlab? You can unmute yourself, Visual.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, I have a doubt in legal expenses that we have written in a liability side. So, if
The question that we have just done, right?
yeah, ma'am. So, it is not written in the question. So, how can we come to know that it is an outstanding?
I'll just share the question. Let me
17,000.
share the question.
Other transaction first one, ma'am.
You're asking about this one, no?
Yeah, ma'am. Legal expenses.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
So now why did we take the 17,000 as outstanding is these are other transactions, which means mostly they are not paid. Correct?
Yeah.
They clearly here mentioned that these are the cash transactions during the year which are mostly paid. Correct? But these are the transactions which are not involving any cash.
Okay.
Okay? So these transactions, whatever are there, are not involved in any cash transaction, which means these legal expenses are not paid. That's why we have taken it as outstanding.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Now there's one more question here. This is simple, you can do. Just we'll quickly look at this question. Ninth question. I think someone was asking, yeah. What is rent premises? Can you like be very clear, Visual? What is rent premises, matlab? The question is, what is rent? What is your question? And you are talking about what? Where did you see that rent? You're talking about this? Are you talking about this? Okay. So this one, if you're asking about this is the premises matlab any area or any building or anything that is owned. That suppose this rent is received from a particular building. That premises is owned by the proprietor, which means that particular building. They just mentioned premises matlab area. Premises is just area. That's it. It can be a building, it can be a land, or it can be a normal, anything that is there. When you call it as some area, they didn't specify if it is a building or something. They just told premises. So any rent that is received from that premises is considered here. It need not be a building. It can be anything. Okay. Which question? This Excel sheet, if you want, I will share this. I've shared all these previous ones also. I will share this Excel sheet. Don't worry about that screenshot. That I will share. If you're worried about that, it is fine. Any other questions we can discuss? You don't, Visual, please don't type your question in 3-4 sentences or 3-4 messages. I'll be lost because people will also keep messaging. Now I'll be lost. You put your question in single message. Meanwhile, I'll be looking at this question. So if you look at this question, this is a similar kind of a question that we have done before. You have all the informations. You know which balance goes to which account. Like when we have done our final accounts, we have done this kind of a similar question wherein creditors will go to balance sheet or in each item where it goes that we have discussed already. So same thing, nothing new in this. You just have to prepare your trading account, P&L and balance sheet. And then how we have done the cash and bank account by writing the contra entries, debtors ka balances, creditors ka balances, all those you have to write. And then prepare the debtors and creditors account. Also, same thing, and opening balance sheet. Nothing big difference in this question. You can try this question. I want you all to try. So your question is 10th and 11th May. So you're talking about these two transactions? Okay. So this transaction, is everybody clear what we have done here in this transaction? This transaction, what happened is, they told that we are opening a branch and then there is a building that we have purchased. That building was purchased for 3,50,000. That is a direct cost which is given to us, but along and which is paid through check. But along with this, they told that we have also incurred some expenses, right? This expenses, we don't know what is the amount. Then how will you find out this amount? That is why we have taken the cash and bank account. If you see, we have bank column in the account. The balancing figure in that bank column is taken as building. Assuming that there are no other transactions, we have taken the balancing figure as building. Because that balance is missing, we have taken that, right? And you were asking about what is the other one. This is simple, no? They told electricity ka bill is paid in cash 18,700 and 2,200 is due. Due matlab that is your outstanding amount. You have to record it in your P&L statement, but that is not paid in cash or bank. So you will show it under your outstanding electricity. Clear? Matured means nothing but, suppose today I have taken a policy. If you see this maturity, today I have taken a policy and then that policy was for 10 years. After 10 years, you call it as the policy is matured. And then you will receive whatever amount you have received in that policy. That is called as matured. You're asking me, Nikhilesh. 10th one we have done, no? I have done the 10th one. What is your question in that, Nikhilesh? Okay, this 10th question, maybe I will just give a summary of what we have done here in the 10th question. I know this is a little critical question when compared to the previous questions that we have done. Okay, so in the 10th question, what is the information that is given to you in the 10th question is the opening and closing balances of your a few accounts are given to you. Okay. Okay, I got your question. I'll try to repeat whatever we have done in 10th question. 9th one is easy. I want you all to try that. Okay, yeah. So in this question, I want you all to listen carefully. Maybe you missed some point when we are doing something, I don't know. Now at least have a clear picture of what we are going to do in this question. I'll just give you an overall picture in this 10th question. Okay, so opening and closing balances of different balances are given to you, and there are some cash transactions given to you, cash or bank, and there are other transactions given. Other means what? They're not involving any payment. They're not involving any cash or bank payment. That's why it is given other transactions, right? Now they're asking you to do what? Prepare your trading account, P&L account, and balance sheet. Now, for trading account, you will need what? Generally, to prepare a trading account, what do you all need? You will need opening inventory, closing inventory, purchases, sales. Then the balancing figure would be your gross profit. You have opening and closing inventory, but you don't have purchases and sales. For this, you will have to do what? We will have to do the debtors account and creditors account. That is why you have done the working note, debtors and creditors account. Clear? Now, if you look at this cash and bank account, why did we do this? It is because there are a lot of cash and bank transactions. There are contra entries. There are bill of exchange entries. A lot of entries are there. And there is our opening opening cash balance and closing cash balance, opening bank and closing bank balance also given to you, which means some balancing figure that would be left out will be nothing but your debtors or creditors, depending on which side it is, right? So one balancing figure we have taken as building, and the other balancing figure we have taken it as debtors, nothing but the cash payments that are received from the customers. That is why we have done this cash account and bank account, to see what is the balancing figure, so that this amount will be reflected accordingly. That is why we have done that. And why did we do the bills receivable and bills payable is, we have opening and closing balance of bills receivable and payables also. So the balancing figure will be what then? The balancing figure will be either adjusted in your debtors or creditors account accordingly. On the debit side or credit side, depends upon whether a new bills receivable is accepted or dishonored or whatever it is. According to the balance, you will have to take that. For that, we have done. Now the balancing figure here is this one, 3,000. Okay, same goes with bills payable also. That is why we have done these working notes. Now, according to that working notes that we have done, and also why did we do the statement of affairs, opening balance sheet, to see what is the opening capital account. If you don't know what is opening capital, then you can't finish this balance sheet. You don't know this amount, right? So to finish that only, we have done the opening capital account also. Then after that, one by one, we have picked any outstanding rents we have, outstanding expenses we have, discounts that we have, everything we have picked one by one and have done the final accounts. Accordingly, how we generally do our accounts only, we have done this. This question basically includes the bills of exchange part, which includes the honored checks, dishonored checks, or bills of exchange accepted by customers and the suppliers. All those are involved. So that is why this looks like a clumsy question, but if you practice this again, I think it will be clear. Okay. You have to do the working note first. Yes. Working notes have to be done first, because if you don't know the opening capital, then you can't do the other balances, or you can't finish the other accounts. So doing the working notes is important, right? Generally, how people prefer writing in exam is, they will just, like I have drawn the trading account P&L and balance sheet, they will try to see that this can be the space that is required for your trading account, P&L account, and all so on. They will estimate the space, leave that space, and then do the working notes in the end. But if you feel that you might miss something, it's okay to do the working note first also sometimes, and then do the, I mean, if you're not able to estimate and you have to cut down everything, that'll spoil your exam. So better you can do it that way also. Okay. Any other questions that you have? Multiple accounts means? Can you be clear, Harsha? Unmute yourself, no? Raise your hand, I'll unmute. I mean, you're asking how we do the accounts all together. Like, see how I have done trading account, P&L account. You draw all of them first, and how I have done. See, but the best technique I follow is, now I know what are the accounts I have to prepare. That is why I have drawn all the accounts, blank accounts first, correct? All the accounts I have drawn, because I know that these have to be prepared. Now, then what I do, the next step I do is to see each transaction. Now, the 600 that is paid, where will this come? It has to come in two places mostly, some of the transactions. So you see that and then post both the transactions. We have done that also in this question. When I was doing the debtors account itself, I've written the discount part, I've written all other outstanding rent part and all. So you keep posting it here, there, then you can do the multiple accounts together at once. Because if you don't do at once, what happens is sometimes you might forget. Then what you'll have to do, you will have to repeat all the transactions. You have to see all the transactions again. Does this affect this account? Does this all of them you have to redo it for multiple accounts. So if you do it together, that will come through practice only. That will come through practice. If you are practicing all these questions regularly, then you know that these are the accounts that have to be prepared. Once you read the question, it can be any chapter, not this one. It can be any chapter. Once you read a question, you will have to know what are the accounts that you will have to prepare. Okay, because everything is not asked in the question. If you see the required part, did they ask you to do the debtors account? Did they ask you to do the creditors account or bills receivable or payables account? No. They did not ask you all those accounts. But why did we do? It is because we need some balance. We need to pick it from that account. That is why we have done those accounts, right? So interlinked accounts have to be prepared, or interlinked statements have to be prepared. So once you read the question and see what is required, along with that is required in the question, you will also have to see what are the other statements you have to prepare, or what are the other accounts that you have to prepare. Now you estimate that this is the question that you have to do. Then if you are talented enough, I mean, that will come through practice, like I told you. If you are okay, then you do all the accounts at once. Exat, like you are asking, exat, if you can manage, do it. Otherwise, do it individually only. Don't worry. But it might take a lot of time if you have to repeat the transactions and do it according to your pace and the time adjustment. All the accounts are compulsory. Yes, I mean all in the sense whatever is required in this question. Okay, in this question, bills receivable is required, payable is required, debtors and creditors are required, bank and cash account is required, opening balance sheet, opening statement of affairs was required. So only we did those accounts. We didn't do inventory account. No, did we do inventory account in this question? No, because it is not required. So whatever is required, needed for the question to be finished, only those you don't do all of them, which is waste of time. It will kill your time. That's it. Shop expense. What is your doubt in shop expense? They told 600 per month is paid, no? 600 per month is paid. That's the amount. That's it. Nothing is there in that. No, what is there? 12 months shop expense will be there, 7,200. Any other questions? So this chapter was basically about what? Oh my God. Annual rent of 20,000. See, the claim that you have is different. Going back to the question. Here, the claim, what is this claim? Someone filed a case against your company, okay, your firm. Now, if that case, you are winning that case, you don't have to pay this damage, okay? If you are losing the case, then you have to pay this amount. Is this clear? First of all, 1,55,000 is the amount you will only pay if you are losing the case, okay? If you are winning the case, you don't have to pay any amount. But now what about the 17,000? 17,000 is the legal expense you have to pay to whom? The lawyer who is fighting against you, right? He's fighting against you, who is filing everything, doing all those court related activities. You have to pay him some fees, right? So this legal expense, 17,000 is mandatory if you are winning or losing the case. It doesn't matter if you're winning or losing, you still have to pay that 17,000. That is why that is shown as an expense. It is not shown as a provision. But why did we show 1,55,000 as a provision? It is because there is a high chance that you will lose the case. That is why you created a provision. If you are winning the case, then you don't have to pay, no? So only provision is created. If the claim was settled, then that will become an expense. It will not be a provision. Now this is clear. While 1,55,000 is a provision, 17,000 is an expense. Clear? Everybody, not just one person, everybody. Okay? And the other one you're asking is, this is a general expense. You have to pay rent to someone and you didn't pay it. What is the rent that you have to pay? 20,000. You didn't pay. So it is an outstanding rent. Normal outstanding rent only. This question I almost took 1.5, I think 1 hour, some 10 minutes or so to finish, but you have to do it within half an hour. That's the maximum time you can allot to this question. Half an hour, you have to finish this question. In exam, I'm talking about the exam. How will you do it? Through practice. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it. You can do it because I have taken it very slow. For you to understand which will come where and what are the transactions. I'm explaining and doing it, no? So it will take time. But if you're doing it yourself, you know the concepts and you're doing it yourself, you can do it within half an hour. Less than half an hour. Bills endorsed means you have a bill. That bill of exchange is there, right? You have a bill of exchange wherein it is an agreement or a promise that I have to pay to someone or someone has to pay it to me, right? Now, when I endorse it to someone means what? I am giving it to someone. Okay. See, you and me have entered into a bill of exchange. Okay. So I have to pay you or you have to pay me. Let it be anything. Now, when I'm endorsing means what? What will happen is I have to pay to someone. Okay, it's like a cross. I'll draw here maybe. Okay, we both had a bill of exchange. Now, bill of exchange. We both had a bill of exchange. Okay, A has to pay to B. Okay, done. A has to pay to B, which means B will receive and A will pay. This is clear. Now, let us assume there is a person C. Okay. Okay, let us assume B has to pay some amount to C. Then what will I do is I will endorse this bill to C. So what is happening? A will pay to B and then B has to pay to C. Rather than this, two different transactions, can A directly pay to C? Can we do that? Yes or no? Are you there? Someone who asked the question. Are you there? Yes. A should pay to B. B also has a liability to pay to C. Rather than A paying to B, I have to pay you 10,000. And then same 10,000 you have to pay to C. Why? To make two transactions. So I will endorse the bill so that A will directly pay to C. That is called as bill endorsed. Rough idea of what is bill endorsed. Rather than having two transactions, you keep endorsing it to that person so that I will directly pay it to him. You have to pay him. I will only pay it to him now so that both the transactions are done. Okay. Anything else? So this chapter, we mostly discussed about the single entry system and also these techniques, right? If you remember, this was the first thing that we started, general techniques and using the information from cash book. We have actually used this. If you remember, the derivation of information from cash book. What is the information we derived from the cash book in this question, in the example that we have done? What did we derive from the cash balance? We came to know that this is the amount of debtors that payments that we have received. So that is nothing but deriving from cash book. And analysis of cash and purchase ledger, this also we have done in the 8th question. We did the sales ledger and the purchase ledger, and then we have derived some information, how much is the cash sale or credit sale. That's the thing. And business expenses and drawings, we know the difference. And then investment by proprietors or partners, additional capital, what I've taught you, right? So these are the things that we started with when we started this chapter, wherein if any information is missing, when you don't have the complete information about all the accounts or all the journal entries, then what do? You try to pick it from different accounts, different ways. Sources have to be picked and the question have to be completed, or you will have to prepare your financial statements. That's the final target. Okay. So we have seen what is a statement of affairs, what is a single entry system, different types of single entry systems also we have seen. And if you remember, we have done this also. How to calculate the profit or loss, opening capital and closing capital difference is nothing but your profit or loss. If you have drawings and any additional capital introduced, that is also, we know this formula. We have done problems on this also. I think this was what we started with, and we know what is the difference between statement of affairs and balance sheet. I discussed it today also. So then using the creditors account, payables account, and debtors account, how to derive with the balances. And this question also we have done. And this was the important, last question was a little important because it had so many adjustments involved in it. That's all about the incomplete records. Quasi single entry system is nothing but wherein you maintain cash book, you maintain subsidiary books also. Subsidiary books matlab I told you, no, purchase account, debtors account, creditors account, such kind, purchase returns account. If you maintain all those books, then it is called quasi single entry. I mean, you're not just maintaining the cash book. Few people, what they do is they only maintain cash book. Cash coming in, cash going out. Only those transactions are recorded in single entry. But quasi may you also show who are your creditors, who are your debtors, what are the purchases you have done and all. That's quasi. Any other questions that we have? Priya ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. So I think we are done, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your patience, and thank you for giving your valuable guidance to the students. So we have come up towards the end of the session, and thank you all the students. I think now the concept, and you have few queries regarding this is remaining, that this task is pending since long. It has been completed, and I will request you all, see, these will be helpful only if you practice questions at home. Practicing questions, these incomplete records questions are long, but if you practice it well, you'll be able to solve it within time. Yes, Vijay Arora, you have asked for a practical question. We can take that question in our webinar. We'll be having our webinar also on incomplete records on 10th at 5 p.m. Ma'am, you already know about it. So
Yes.
I would request you all, we can take this question, ma'am. Keep a note, please take a note on it. We'll be taking this question
Yes.
over on this webinar, which will be at 5 p.m. So all the students, please requesting everyone to practice this question. After practice, your speed will increase and you'll be able to do these questions within time. The concept of double entry bookkeeping is very important for this chapter, specifically for this chapter. Where double entry system will help you to identify those errors and areas and do the questions correctly. And thank you, ma'am, for devoting your time for this LBC classes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We may log out. And please do see the schedule for your webinars also, and kindly do attend the webinar. We'll be taking some important questions and some previous attempt questions also during the session in the webinar. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Technical team, you may the session is ended.